So you need a package of jars. They usually come with rings and the lids. You separate the rings and the lids. I just throw the lids in, or the rings in here. They don't need to be sterilized or anything. They're on the outside. And I throw the lids inside a bowl. I'm going to put hot water in there before I put them on the jars. You need a funnel to fill the jars. You need a ladle to ladle into the funnel. You need a little, I like this. You don't have to have it. It's a little magnetic ring grabber, like for lids, because they're really hot.
Yeah.
And that's kind of cool. No, it won't come off. And then a jar grabber for taking them out of the hot water and actually putting them in the hot water. So I don't know about you, I hate hot water. You need a big pot. It doesn't have to be this big if you have small jars. If you have small jars, like I've got some jars on the top of the counter that are just like little jelly jars, and I could fit them in here. The whole point is that you've got enough room in the pot that the water can go over the top of it. I'm thinking about it a half an inch at least. So I've got a pot of hot water in here. And it's really heavy. Really, really heavy. But I don't necessarily fill it all the way to the top. I fill it to as far as I think the jar is going to need it. And then if I need to add more, I can always put it in there. But I start with hot water so that when it goes to boil, it doesn't take forever. Because it could take a long time. So I get that ready, and I get my pan ready. This is going to be for the pickle brine. And then over here, I already pulled out jars, separated lids and rings, washed them, and they're just dry. And before I fill them with the hot liquids, I'm going to put hot water in here.
Oh, so that they are all hot all over.
Yes. Yes. Hot jars, hot liquids. If these are cold jars, I mean, they're kind of cold right now. If they're cold and you fill them with hot liquids, they're going to crack and you're going to get glass everywhere. And it would be a sad day. This is the step where we chop up our produce to fit the jars. Okay, so here's our process. We're going to have hot jars for hot liquid. We're going to stuff the jars with the cucumber spears. Then we're going to add a cup of garlic and a cup of hot pepper and 1 head of dill, which is from the lovely garden. Then we're going to take our ladle and our funnel. We're going to put the funnel on the jar. We're going to take the ladle and scoop up brine. I'm moving the brine over closer and pour it into the jar on top of these things that are on top. Then we're going to take this nice clean towel, wipe the rim of the jar, grab a lid, flip it over onto the rubber side, grab a ring, screw that on, and then from there we take each of our jars and we're going to put it in the water. Those are our next steps. Alright, 2 parts that are important after you fill it is you want to go around the edges, see if there's any air bubbles that'll come out, make sure that the air's out, and if you need a little bit more juice, you can put that in there. You don't call it juice, but I don't know what you call it. Right. Yeah. And then another important part is to wipe the rims dry on the jar. Get in there, Dill. And then you get your little tool, which I don't know where it is. Here it is. Get your little tool for a little lid. Sometimes the lids double up, so make sure you only have one. Stick that baby on top. And it's all really hot. If you touch this jar, it's hot. If you touch the lid, it's hot. Get a ring. Put the ring on. Hand tighten it. I'm going to put the phone down in a minute and then tighten it by holding it with another rag so I can get a good tight seal with my hand. Do one, teach one. Okay, what are you doing?
I am putting the brine into the jar. Oh, that's pretty full. Do I have to fill it all the way up to the top?
Look how far you got. I would leave at least a 1/4 inch at the top.
Is that about a quarter? Or no?
And when you put your knife in to get the air bubbles out, it might come down. Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm trying to remember where that goes.
Remember, the jar's going to be hot. It should be hot.
It is.
Okay.
Oh, I see the air bubbles coming out.
Well, we kind of decided we're going to put the good stuff down in the bottom for the next jars. The recipe says put all the good stuff on top, but I don't like how the dill's sticking out. So we'll put the dill and the garlic on the bottom.
Do you
next
think
time.
I think I got it all.
I think so. Do you need more liquid, or are you good?
I've got about, I could probably put just a hair in.
A hair of liquid.
A hair, not much. How's that?
Yep.
Okay.
Then what?
I wipe my jar lid top. Make sure it's dry. Grab this guy. It does not matter, correct, if it is wet or dry?
Correct. And we were wiping the lid to get the materials off. No sticky, sugary, vinegary. Hand tighten it.
Hand tighten that. Okay.
Yep. Very good.
Thank you.
Yep. So we're using our funnel. We already shoved the peaches in the jar, leaving about an inch of peaches. And then we use the funnel. Put about a 1/4 inch of the liquid in there. And she is wiping the rim clear of debris in preparation for a lid.
Oh, good, 'cause I had a piece of peach on that one. This reminds me
On, the
of,
ring's on. And it's hand tight. Remember, the jar is hot.
it is hot.
It is hot. And we're keeping them in this hot/warm water just so the glass doesn't crack, because we don't like cracked glass. Once all the jars are filled and lids on, I'm going to put them into the canning pot and put the lid on and bring it back to a boil. When the boil starts, that's when the timer starts. So for the pickles, we boiled for 10 minutes, and for the peaches, it was 25 minutes at a lower boil. After the timer goes off, then you carefully remove them from the boiling water using the can grabber and put them on something very soft to sit for at least 24 hours. Leave space in between the jars so they can cool evenly, and do not disturb them. You should be able to hear the sound of the lids forming vacuums as the jars cool. After they cool, be sure to label them with the contents and the date, including the year. And if you'd like some one-on-one canning tutoring, please reach out to me and I can help you.